But anyway, it's a real honor for me to start this off here on the Taco Tuesday and be the leadoff hitter for this event. And like I said, I've always appreciated working with Jeff and working with WiLS in general. So what I'm going to do for the next 10, 15 minutes is talk about our services. And I'm going to talk about what we really do. Our bread and butter is we are a document delivery provider. Our goal is to provide the fastest access to content and provide it to you seamlessly, inexpensively, and have the best user experience possible. A little bit of housekeeping for those of you who use our service today or thinking about using the service. We are slowly rebranding our company. So for somebody like myself who's done document delivery now 35 plus years and have been at Reprints Desk for the last 15 years, we're slowly changing our name to Research Solutions. So if somebody out there who knows me or reaches out to me in the future and wants to discuss our company, if I end up calling it Reprints Desk, it's called Research Solutions. So it's just a simple rebranding name. We've been in this industry since 2006. Our biggest focus has always been the corporate market, but over the last several years, our biggest growth has been the academic market. And right now, that's our biggest uptake. It's beginning to overtake the corporate in the sense of size. So as you can see, we have well over 500 academic clients as of today. So the academic collection, and this is the 4 key points about what this academic collection really does for you. We have access to better than close to 1 million book chapters. We have access to immediately 40,000 titles. Average cost $29, and average turnaround time is about 30 minutes. If it's something we can pull from a server, you'll get that in less than a minute. If it's something that we need to go to an extended source, that can take a little bit longer. So the core group of our service is not only the fast turnaround time, but also our relationship with publishers. So the key element here, as you can see in front of you, is these publishers are the ones that we get the most academic requests for. We have negotiated rates, seamless integrations, and really one of the most important things is no embargoes. So if a publisher like Wiley gives us access, they give us access to everything, including their book chapter titles. So how do you want to use this? What systems you use? Well, one of the great things about what we do is we can work with you in many different ways. You could put us upstream, you could put us downstream, you could put us in the middle. Wherever you need us, we can be that really key element for you. So for instance, we have a few clients, or actually we have about, I would say 8 to 9% of our clients use our full order text form just to go in and order articles as a one-off, meaning that if you work at a reference desk and a faculty member comes in there and you need to get it to them instantaneously, you can actually use our order form to do that. The other source, of course, is Iliad. You could use Tapasa. You can use the IDS project. And of course, you can use Rapid. The beautiful thing about all 4 of these services is it costs nothing to set up, no setup fee, no annual license, and each setup time usually takes anywhere just to a few minutes to up to an hour. So even if you don't really want to ever use this that much, but want to use this occasionally, if you use any of these 4, you can have us set up and we can be on the back end. And one of the great things about what we do is we really have realized that so many universities use us in so many different capacities. They'll put us immediately up front to try to get their articles through their interlibrary loan departments and provide those instantaneous to them. And then there's other universities that use us as the last resort. It's like, you know what? I've used every other source out there. I'm just going to use Reprints Desk to provide that article for us. And that's another thing that we've really started to gain a lot of traction on. And really one of the uptakes about what we're doing is we have a service called Academic Advance. And really what it is not only can we pull articles off servers for you and deliver those articles to you instantaneously, but we also have about 15% of our article requests that we can go to access sources around the globe and try to fulfill those documents to you quickly and timely. And really one of the key elements here is really one of our best sources is the British Library. We've been working with the British Library for the last several years, and what we realize is the relationship is getting bigger and it's getting stronger, and we're starting to expand our relationship with them to the point now that the British Library has told me that we are really their #1 source. We're the #1, we use them the most. And with that being said, we get a little bit of special service, we get quicker turnaround time, And also we get a little bit of a better price. So that's something that we can provide for you at the British Library. And of course, we use other sources from around the globe to provide that content for you. And we're really thrilled about this. And we're always looking for access to third-party vendors. But we realize that this has really been a key advantage for us, knowing that at least 14 to maybe 15% of the article requests we get are for hard to find or just regular articles around the globe. So at this point, we're going to shift gears. And by the way, I just would like to say once again, for the service that we just talked about, it being access to, the 4 major players in the interlibrary loan world, we can give you a free account, even if you just want to kick the tires and take a look at the pricing. You want to see if maybe this is the service right for you. That's easy to do. And at the end of the session, I'm going to put my email address in the chat box. So you'd be able to have access and get a free account, reach out to me and ask questions. But like I said, that's all the free to set up, no annual license. It's there when you need us to be. But with that being said, we're going to shift gears. And for the next 4 slides, I'm going to talk about our brand new platform that we're rolling out, which is gaining a lot of traction now. We're signing up about 2 to 3 accounts a month on this service. It's called the Article Galaxy Scholar. And really the difference between Article Galaxy Scholar and the academic collection is really what's in front of you. This is the really key difference. The academic collection is free to set up with no annual license. Article Galaxy Scholar has an implementation fee and a small annual license. And actually, we're redesigning that model right now to fit different size libraries and also to find out what is the right fit for you. So in other words, if you're going to have 15 to 20 power users using the service, it's going to be a very low introductory price and a very low price to begin, with a possibility of no annual license, as opposed to if you're a major player with multiple faculty and staff using it, that'll be a different pricing models. And those who are interested, you should reach out to me and I can explain what that all is. But really, one of the key things with the Article Galaxy Scholar, it's really a solution to fit goals. It's to really provide open access, to provide article purchase and incorporate interlibrary loan. So the best way to describe Article Galaxy Scholar is it's downstream from your link resolver, upstream of interlibrary loan. So it really falls into that really cool sweet spot that you might have that you really would like to satisfy key users from around the globe or key users at your university. We're here to try to help you provide the best services possible. And this is really the most important slide that I like to show you. So how Article Galaxy Scholar works is the user comes in, uses this discovery. We can work with any discovery system that you have, but the big 2 players are, of course, Clarivate and EBSCO. So a user comes in, and let's suppose Tony Landolt is a faculty member at your university, and you've downsized certain parts of a collection, or you no longer have access to a certain part of collection, or maybe just a few titles. But since I'm a power user, or I'm a faculty member or a graduate student who does need this content, you can go to me and say, Tony, the first 5 are going to go to interlibrary loan because we believe in Contu. From 5 to 10, immediately will go to Reprints Desk, and they will fill those articles within seconds, 24 hours a day, and have it be delivered to you. If I'm not a preferred user, it's the journey as usual, and it goes to interlibrary loan, all the while incorporating open access content. And really what that means is that we take on paywall integration, and if the article that you're looking for is open access, it'll be popped up in the browser instantaneously as being OA. If it's not OA, it's the journey as usual. It's the choice that you make to decide if certain faculty, staff, or maybe the entire campus gets access to certain content that you would like your patrons to have access to 24 hours a day. And it kind of relieves the burden of the interlibrary loan department, knowing that they have this content available to them, and with also incorporating limits. So if you head up to, maybe you decide that Tony Landolt is a rockstar faculty, you can give me 50 downloads from particular titles, or one big publisher or multiple publishers. But if I'm not a rockstar faculty, you can give me 5. And if I happen to be an undergrad won't see any of this. It'll be just the usual journey experience that they normally have. So the next to the last slide is, this is the 5 most important things about Article Galaxy Scholar. It saves time, valuable staff time. It provides data and insights. So if you're in charge of collection development, or you're making decisions, you're going to get down to the granular of what journals are being used, how many are going to be clicked on, how many are going to be downloaded, how many open access are there, how many are going to interlibrary loan. It also has limits and controls. So you're going to have all these buttons in front of you where you really are the person behind the curtain, making the decisions and also calculating costs. We improve the user experience. So there's no longer any dead ends. You know, someone doesn't hit a wall and the whole experience sours on them. And then finally expand and fulfill search results. So we've seen universities open this up to the entire campus, to like 8,000 students and faculty. And we've seen this platform be rolled out to 10 faculty only, to maybe just a small group of titles. And we've also seen universities roll this out for brand new titles, where the only reason they use Article Galaxy Scholar is to satisfy a faculty member who comes to them and says, I really would like you to subscribe to this. And you're like, well, that's not, we can't decide, we can't justify the cost. You put it in Article Galaxy Scholar and you find out how much traction there is. So there's a lot of multiple ways to doing this. And with that being said, I think I'm on time. Here's my contact information. So like I said, if you're interested, and I'll put my email address in the chat box here at the end. So if you'd like to reach out and ask me questions about the platform, you're interested in our academic service, the bottom line is here, we want to be wherever you need us to be. You want to use us, you know, every day, or you just want to use us occasionally, we're here to fit that need. So with that being said, Jeff, I'm going to stop and kick it back to you, if that's okay.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. We're like a minute or so. Actually, it's 11:45 exactly here now, but it looks like our 11:45 hasn't popped in yet. So I don't know if you have anything else you'd like to share with the group, or if there are any questions.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can put in the chat. I put my email address in the chat box. I think, Jeff, you know, you've been a real fan of the platform when we started rolling it out. I think it's been a really fascinating thing to introduce to the community. I think one of the things that we're realizing as we move forward with the platform, just the use cases that we've had for it. You know, like for instance, you know, the open access filter is really key, and not only for brand new titles, but another use case that we've seen universities use it for, it's a collection development tool. You know, it helps with their buying decisions or the possibility of downsizing. We've had universities downsize packages and they put these titles in Article Galaxy Scholar thinking, will there be any usage of these titles at all? And all of a sudden they start seeing maybe some usage on some titles and no usage on others. And so they're thinking, well, let's join those. So that's really been one of the fascinating things about the open access field with the platform itself. And of course, one last thing I'll add before your colleague jumps on is we're seeing a lot of interest in the way that we not only use open access with paywall, we also check open access after the article's been delivered. So we do both ends. So anyway, is that good, Jeff? Is our
great.
Next one's on?
I think everybody's here. Tony, thank you so much.
Thank
you. To everybody in session, I will remind you that we will be doing follow-ups after this. So I see that Tony put his contact information in the chat box, but I'll include that in our follow-up email as well. Thanks again, Tony, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. Thank you, Jeff.